pleno juicio se muestra material sobre una infidelidad.
You changed the locks to the penthouses on May 22nd, 2016.
I attempted to.
That's why you felt comfortable having James Franco over the evening of May 22nd, 2016, Ms. Heard?
I do not know when James came over.
Okay, let's remind you.
I do not know when James came over.
Okay, let's remind you.
A continuación te presentaré la segunda parte de momentos más impactantes en el juicio entre Johnny Depp y Amber Heard. Ahora sí, vamos por el número 8. Número 8. Al parecer el abogado de Amber aquí se puso un poquito nervioso porque se objetó su propia pregunta.
And you had interaction with Debbie Lloyd when you're in the house, correct?
Yes, briefly.
Okay. And isn't it true that in the entire time you were there, you were not informed as to what caused damage to Mr. Depp's finger on March 8th?
Objection, hearsay.
I'm asking what he wasn't told.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay, you said he sustained an injury to his finger,
Yes,
but you don't know what caused the injury to his finger.
one of
correct?
his fingers.
But you don't know you don't know how his finger was injured,
I
correct?
don't think anybody mentioned it to me at that time.
Right, no one mentioned it to you at that time, correct?
Same objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Sorry, I'll allow it. Next question.
Número 7. Y más personas se siguen presentando en el juicio. Este fue el turno de la hermana de Johnny Depp. Ella contó uno de los momentos más difíciles para ella y su hermano, Johnny.
Now, Ms. Dombrowski, I'd like to shift gears again and ask you about the period in April and May of 2016. If you could please let us know, as of April 2016, what was the state of your mother's health?
Mom had been, she had been in the hospital for quite some time, and like a long steady pace from November. So by April she was, we knew that she was towards the end of her life. So that's what April basically was, and it went into May. In May, we gathered everybody to come say goodbye to her.
Did you ever see Johnny at the hospital?
Yes.
How often did you see Johnny at the hospital in April 2016?
I don't know how often I saw him. I mean, he would come and see her, you know, regularly. Even before that, when there was a period we were trying to help her communicate, and he, you know, brought in, you know, different type tools, pens, pencils, you know, drawing, crayons, just to try to help her communicate. He came as often as he could. He was there quite a bit.
And I'm sorry, I know this is painful. How did Johnny react when you told him that your mother had passed?
Well, he was sad, but there was there's a relief that, you know, suffering is done. So, and we were going to go to the funeral home, so I was, while I was waiting for her, I went to go check on Johnny and see if he was okay, and wanted to go.
And did you check on Johnny Saturday morning, the 21st?
Yes, I went to see him because we had talked about maybe he would also go to the funeral home, but when I got there, he seemed upset because he and Amber had been fighting.
Número 6. Si tuvimos a la hermana de Johnny Depp, pues aquí también tenemos a la hermana de Amber. Ella también hizo declaraciones impactantes de la expareja.
Yeah, vaguely. I mean, they're clearly my text messages, but yeah, I recognize them, I think.
Okay. And if we can go to the third page, please, Tom.
And you'll see the second blue box from the bottom there. You texted Mr. Depp and you said, I love both of you so much and would stay out of it if I thought that we're past the point of no return. But that's not where you guys are right now. Did I read that right?
Oh, but that's not where you guys are at.
Yes. So you didn't think they were past the point of no return in October 2015, right?
At that point, clearly I didn't.
Okay, you can take that down.
Oh.
You wanted Ms. Heard to stay with Mr. Depp even after you allegedly saw him hit her, right?
That's really oversimplifying something that's far from simple. Again, Amber was very much in love, so was Johnny. She's telling me that she wants something, whether or not I agreed to it or not, whether or not I was okay with what was happening, that wasn't my place. If my sister said that she still wanted to be with Johnny and if I could help with that in any way, I was going to support her. I was going to be there for her to support that.
Yeah, you didn't want to contradict your sister, right?
Pardon?
You didn't want to contradict your sister.
I don't know if I'd characterize it that way. I was trying to support my sister the best that I could or knew how or thought she wanted.
And you say you wanted to protect her though, right?
At that point, I don't know if I would categorize it as that. I was just trying to support my sister.
Número 5. ¿Recuerdas que en el anterior video vimos una declaración sobre unas heces que se encontraron en la cama de Johnny?
My side of the bed was human fecal matter.
Pues aquí Amber declara que dichas heces no fueron de ella, sino de sus perritos.
She had eaten Johnny's weed when she was a puppy and had bowel control issues for her entire life.
What, if anything, did you notice about any bathroom issues in your bed before you left for Coachella?
Well, Raquel and I were both in that bed with the dogs, and I didn't notice anything, but we left them in the bed while we packed a bag to go to Coachella, you know.
Did you commit any kind of prank?
Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not.
And why would that not be something you would do?
First of all, I don't think that's funny. I was not also in a pranking mood. My life was falling apart. I was at a crossroads in my life that was really serious, and I had just been attacked on my 30th birthday by my violent husband with whom I was desperately in love and knew I needed to leave.
Número 4. En este puesto tenemos la declaración de Sterling Jenkins, el chofer y seguridad de Depp, sobre el mismo incidente. Él dijo que las heces encontradas en la cama del actor fue una broma de Amber que salió mal.
And how did Miss Heard and her friends get from the hotel to the festival that evening?
I drove them directly to there.
And did you have any discussions with Miss Heard on the way to Coachella that evening?
We had a conversation pertaining to the surprise she left in the boss's bed prior to leaving the apartment.
And when you refer to the surprise in the boss's bed, what are you referring to?
The defecation.
And what did Miss Heard say about the defecation in Mr. Depp's bed?
A horrible practical joke gone wrong.
And did you observe anything about Miss Heard's health that weekend?
She got sick.
Do you know
she
what?
Got sick at the venue second night.
Do you know what caused Miss Heard to be sick?
She was eating the magic mushrooms and drinking red wine on an empty stomach.
Have you ever witnessed any physical abuse between Mr. Depp and Miss Heard?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins. Nothing further.
All right, cross-examination.
Número 3. Siguen las polémicas en este juicio y esta es una de ellas. Amber supuestamente prometió que iba a realizar una donación a distintas organizaciones benéficas una vez lograse un acuerdo de divorcio con Johnny, en donde recibió $7 millones. Pues resulta que no fue así, ya que este dinero hasta el día de hoy no ha llegado hacia los destinatarios mencionados.
You still haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity, isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety of the
Ms.
settlement,
Hurd,
$7 million
that's not my
to
question.
charity, and I
Ms. Hurd,
intend to
Ms.
fulfill
Hurd,
those obligations.
Ms. Hurd, that's not my question. Please,
What was
try
your
to answer
question?
my question. Sitting here today, you have not donated the $7 million, donated, not pledged, donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another.
But I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Hurd, I don't use it synonymously.
That's how donations are paid.
Ms. Hurd, respectfully, that's not my question. As of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
And as of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, correct?
I have not yet. Johnny sued me.
So as of today, you have not donated, paid $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity, right?
I have not been able to fulfill those obligations yet.
And that's because you did want something, didn't you?
I didn't want anything, and I didn't get anything.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Didn't get it, wasn't interested in it. I loved Johnny, that's why I was with him.
Número 2. Durante el juicio se mostró un video que afirmaría que habría habido una infidelidad. En dicho material se mostraba al actor James Franco llegando al penthouse de Amber, mientras que Johnny Depp estaba fuera de la ciudad. En ese momento la abogada de Depp, Camille Vázquez, le hizo todo tipo de preguntas y Amber reaccionó así.
You changed the locks to the penthouses on May 22nd, 2016.
I attempted to.
That's why you felt comfortable having James Franco over the evening of May 22nd, 2016, Ms. Hurd?
I do not know when James came over.
Okay, let's remind you.
I do not know when James came over.
Okay, let's remind you. That's you and Mr. Franco on May 22nd, 2016, right, Ms. Hurd?
That's correct.
And you're taking him up to the penthouses, aren't you?
That's where I lived, yes.
And it's past 11 p.m. at night, isn't that right?
I'm not quite sure of the time it looked like that.
Why don't we pull that video back up?
Número 1. El actor Depp en este momento graficó y contó cómo se defendió de Amber en una de las tantas peleas que tuvieron.
She threw the large bottle and it made contact and shattered everywhere. And I honestly didn't feel the pain at first at all. I felt no pain whatsoever. What I felt was, I felt heat. I felt heat and I felt as if something were dripping down my hand, you know. And then I looked down and realized that the tip of my finger had been severed, and I was looking directly at my bones sticking out, and the meaty portion of the inside of your finger, and blood was just pouring out. And at that point, I think that I went into some sort of, I don't know what a nervous breakdown feels like, but that's probably the closest that I've ever been. I didn't Nothing made sense.
Y hasta aquí la segunda parte. ¿Tú qué opinas de este juicio? No olvides dejar tu like y tu comentario aquí abajo, y si deseas que haga una tercera parte, también déjamelo saber aquí abajo. Ahora sí, sin nada más que decir, nos vemos seguramente en la tercera parte.
Un gran adiós para todos. Los amo. Amber